Thank you very much, Yash, for the introduction. Professor Chan, Professor Chow, Professor Mersha, for your words, your speeches, which captured with some clarity and sharpness the challenges and issues that we are facing. Professor Chan described this as preaching to the choir, in which case, in a room full of professors and academics, I'm not sure I'm musically qualified. But at this SMU's Resilient Workforce Symposium, we're discussing how we can shape the future of learning, work in an age of artificial intelligence. This is an important issue that not just Singapore, but all societies, the whole world is grappling with. You saw the slide that we saw all the different countries and the impact that is across the world. So I thought, as we are discussing the academic approach, the research considerations that you and your colleagues will be putting together and informing what we would do within government and public policy, I thought what I might do today is sketch out what we are already doing in our education space, in that interface between education and industry, between the learners and the workforce that they are going to be. I mean, this is often the way we are getting things done in Singapore. As the research is happening, as we are grappling with answering what are the questions, we are also trying to then learn in implementation, establish by trying to get stuff done, what works and what doesn't work, the operational considerations in public policy. And I'll try and sketch all that out for you in a speech that, unfortunately, as I'm a politician with a microphone, will be rather longer than the three professors that have gone on before me. But I'd like to thank SMU and the Singapore MIT Alliance for Research and Technology for bringing together experts in research, in industry, and in policy to discuss and generate new ideas over the next 2 days. Let me try and sketch out what we are doing. The jobs and industries that we have here in Singapore that we are looking at, they're already being disrupted. They're already being transformed as technologies develop very rapidly. Even for the same job description, the same person, the skills needed to do that task, do that job well, have indeed changed. Classically, now it's remarkable that I can say the word classically when it comes to the job of a programmer. For coding can be fully generated with AI in a fraction of the time it once took. And I'm sure many of the people in the room will have had this experience or this demo. If not, there are plenty of YouTube videos demonstrating how whole apps, whole products can essentially be coded within a few minutes with the right type of prompt. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, I'll arrange a demo for you. There are plenty of institutions in Singapore that are already doing this. A fraction of the time it once took for a coder to generate a product. Employers now naturally expect entry-level software developers to not only code, but to do so more efficiently using these AI tools and combining these AI tools with an application of domain-specific knowledge. And so now to be a software programmer, the coding techniques are insufficient. You have to have the coding techniques, the use of the best-in-class tools, and domain-specific knowledge to keep doing the same job that you were previously good at. Beyond coding, generative AI is also shifting the way we approach knowledge work in areas like finance and law. That these are then domains where the direct knowledge of how AI can affect the task of a domain expert then becomes necessary. But in all this, there are new opportunities being created, and there are new opportunities to be seized. This is not a theoretical statement. This is not an aspirational statement. It is informed by our historical experience here in Singapore. So local, contextual, historical, and recent experience tell us that previous waves of technology have indeed created new jobs and new industries. And this is the lived experience for people within the workforce in Singapore. And AI will similarly create new opportunities for workers worldwide. We're already seeing jobs around the ethical and effective use of AI emerge, like ethics specialists, ensuring that our models, our artificial intelligence models, are free of embedded biases, and there will be other new jobs that we cannot even imagine today. And this is indeed the lived experience for the workforce that have gone through previous waves of technologically mediated disruption. Our ability to harness new technologies can also enable solutions to some of the pressing issues that we face today. In an aging society, our technologies can provide better personalized healthcare, enable early, timely intervention, easing the burden on caregivers and healthcare systems. And so the key to this, the key to riding a wave of technological disruption and to seizing the new opportunities and applying that new technology to emerging or existing problems, historically we know rests on our ability to educate, our ability to learn, to relearn, to develop skills and upskill. Again, lived experience of the workforce is that we have done this, we can do it, and we need to do it for this wave of technologically mediated disruption brought about by artificial intelligence. What are we doing? What are we doing to harness these opportunities? How are we making sure that workers, students, every worker, every student will learn about AI and will develop the foundational digital literacy and artificial intelligence skills? Our school curriculum in Singapore strengthens the development of AI literacy by addressing what our students should know about AI, how they should use it, and how they can learn with it. So disaggregating the problem into 3 buckets. What you should know, how to apply it, and then how to improve the learning using these tools. Rather than teaching AI as a standalone subject, learning about AI and how to tap on it to deepen learning across various subjects allows students to apply AI practically in a timely manner and in tandem with the latest AI developments. So even though we think about it in these 3 buckets, in practice and in its application within our school curriculum, we integrate all of these 3 strands of work. We also make compulsory core modules available and deliver them for our institutes of higher learning, foundational modules in artificial intelligence and AI literacy. All Year 1 ITE students attend AI Singapore's AI for Everyone program, regardless of their course of study. And so these are students learning about applied skills, technical skills, vocational skills, and they have to have a compulsory module on artificial intelligence. But this is just the first step. Foundational AI literacy, foundational AI exposure is the first step. It's also important to be able to apply AI in the specific contexts and specific domains. Within our institutions, we provide our students with hands-on exposure to industry-focused applications of AI. Media students in our polytechnics use generative AI tools like Adobe Firefly and Midjourney, optimizing their content creation workflows. Infocom students develop programs using AI-enabled coding tools like GitHub Copilot. They're doing this within the polytechnics, they're doing this within our institutes of higher learning as part of their undergraduate, their diploma course of studies. And so we want them to arrive in the workforce already having had this experience and ready to go with these tools. That is the expectation of the employers, that is the expectation of our institutions, and actually most importantly, that is the expectation of the learners themselves to be prepared in this way. But that in itself as an aspiration and as a structure is not going to be sufficient. One of the things that we have learned is that our institutions value to our learners and our students is their tight integration with industry. That industry collaboration with leading tech firms, providing students with up-to-date and industry-relevant learning is essential. For example, Dell Technologies has partnered 5 institutions across our Institute of Technical Education, the polytechnics, and our universities, including SMU, to enhance curricula with in-demand digital skills and industry exposure to build expertise in new and emerging technologies, including in AI. And so this series of tight links between industry and our education space must continue, must deepen, and we have to explore where are the gaps that we need to fill as new technologies and new opportunities are created. For those who are already in the workforce, we have a whole agency dedicated to their skills and their reskilling and their upskilling. Skills Future Singapore. It already supports 1,500 courses related to AI across a range of industry. So that's a whole series of structures and processes and relationships from school to undergraduate to continuing adult education. But becoming AI ready as a society requires us to then learn beyond artificial intelligence. In an AI pervasive future, possessing core critical thinking and problem solving skills will be what differentiates our workers and will lead to the kind of resilience that your seminar and your discussions today are most concerned about. These are then essential skills for our learners and workers today. As more tasks are being automated by AI, the delta that we will have to then apply as the human in the loop, the value add as the worker rather than the tool, is precisely that, our humanness. This is often captured by the label of soft skills. As a former, potentially current medical educator, I have to say the term soft skills causes an allergic reaction. Because to my students, I spent quite a lot of time explaining that there are hard skills in the sciences needed to be matched by equally important skills in curiosity, communication, and collaboration. And to suggest a hierarchy of hard and soft was perhaps inappropriate. But that is the label that people easily understand. And so we use that label and we try to capture people's imagination. But I think the key point we have to say is that these skills need to be thought of as just as valuable as the technical cognitive skills. Because these skills will give us an edge as workers, not just in AI, but in thinking about resilience when the next technological wave of disruption comes. And we have to assume it is not far away, given the pace of technological developments that is powered by the artificial intelligence tools that we see today. And so we need to then think of that resilience not just for the problems that are proximate and right in front of us, but the assumption has to be that there will be another wave of technological disruption, and what might be the skills and processes that we need to put in place for the learners of today when they are 30 years old, which is not very far away for them. Today, our school system equips our students with these types of skills through the development of a framework we call the 21st century competencies. And our institutes of higher learning build on this foundation by inculcating life skills into their curricula and programs. And I think this is an approach that in itself deserves significant academic study and consideration from policymakers and the education fraternity. How is it that we can institutionalize, systematize, and think about those frameworks for competencies around communication, curiosity, collaboration, so that we can augment the development of our learners, whether in the undergraduate, in the formal school space, or later on in the adult learning space. I've spoken about how students and workers and our system can adapt to the impact of AI on work and the workforce. And I also want to then touch on how we can use AI to teach better. I think this is a huge subject on its own. I won't belabor the point because the choir is indeed in the room, and you'll be hearing from experts on this very subject over the course of the symposium. But I just again want to give you a sense that we are already doing this in practice within our education system. We are seeing AI being used by educators to tailor their instructions to student needs, to adapt to industry context. We have a product called the Singapore Student Learning Space. Some of you may be parents with children working their way through our general education system, and you will know that this is the platform that they use in order to then deal with their reading material, access resources, as well as submit their answers and their quizzes. And this, in case you were not aware, already has AI-powered features built in. And so the students, your children, who are taking home a personal learning device are benefiting from an AI-driven education platform as part of their compulsory education within our school system today. The teachers design customized learning experiences. They instantaneously analyze the students' learning responses, and it allows them then to make data-informed teaching and learning decisions. At the other end of education, in our institutes of higher learning, this AI-based technology is already allowing our instructors to enhance their teaching of domain-specific skills. An area that is close to my heart in medical education, we had conventionally used role play as a consistently useful teaching modality. We continue to do so, but now we can also do this using AI-powered virtual simulations, AI-powered technology, and have the medical students grapple with clinical skills like delivering a baby, conducting an eye examination, doing all this within the safety of a customizable AI-powered virtual simulation. The value is not necessarily the fidelity of the graphics, the interactivity of the avatar. All of those are extremely valuable, but the professors, the academics in the audience, you will know the greatest value is the ability for that AI platform to analyze the behavior and provide targeted feedback with accuracy relevant to that learner. That value, which is what a master teacher brings within the space, is now brought to the first introduction that a learner has with the skill in the context of that role play, that virtual simulation, that interaction with the avatar. And here at SMU, I'm glad that faculty are tapping on SMU's AI-powered course feedback system, analyzing your student feedback to provide actionable insights to improve your course delivery for both regular students as well as adults. So given all of this, more broadly, what can all of us do? Each of us, individuals, businesses, institutions, we all have a part to play in supporting the workforce and helping us all to adapt and thrive in this new environment. And as government, we are committed to walking alongside this journey with you, building upon the strong foundation that we've established over the past decade to support lifelong learning. Keeping up with technological changes today and the evolving industry needs is no longer optional. It's essential if individuals want to stay relevant and resilient in the workforce. We've recently launched Career Health SG. This empowers Singaporeans. This is an online platform. You can see it through a website. It empowers Singaporeans to proactively take charge of their career decision, bringing together an aggregation of skills and qualifications and upskilling opportunities and job opportunities, supporting individuals to better access insights on growth jobs and industries, helping them to decide on career moves and the skills that they need to meet their career aspirations. The framework is then that as you think about developing your career, it's not about the job, it's not about the skill, it's about both. What are the jobs that I can access with the skills? What are the skills that I need to access the jobs that I would like to apply for in the future? What is the trajectory that I can follow as I develop my career? For businesses, they also have to transform to seize new opportunities. It's also in their interest to invest in the workforce to help them remain competitive. Resilient companies are those that can ride the waves of change and actively upskill their workforce. They take a progressive and long-term view of building up their talent pipeline. So historically, being a resilient company was adapting your business process, changing your service delivery model, looking for opportunities. Those still continue, but increasingly to be a resilient business is about having an adaptive workforce and thinking how you will have your workforce be increasingly adaptive. Employers can tap on support from industry intermediaries in order to do this. We have a category of skills future queen bees and skills development partners who provide advisory and sector-specific training, helping to transform the workforce and bridge skills gaps. And we welcome the industry partners here today to join us if you're interested to be part of this process of supporting your industry ecosystem and becoming a queen bee or a skills development partner, especially if you as an employer are already skilled at providing some of this adaptive training to your workforce. And our institutions of higher learning. Beyond education and training, you have an important role to play in contributing to research. And you've seen a pen sketch of some of the considerations that you'll be discussing today around the research that help us better understand the impact of AI on work and our workforce. So I'm heartened that SMU has identified workforce resilience as a research priority, and that you'll be studying this issue at various levels: the individual machine interface, the organizational level, and at the societal level. But the research is grounded in real-world applications. I'm very happy to hear that as you're developing these models of thought, identifying the frameworks that you have to think about, and asking yourself how to take the research agenda forward, it is grounded in real-world applications, as SMU and MIT Smart have actively sought out and established partnerships with organizations such as Changi Airport Group and Mendaki, two examples demonstrating the diversity of the kind of established partnerships that you will engage with. These partners provide SMU with problem statements that arise in their day-to-day work, so that research outcomes will be better tied to real impact. And so I'm confident then that the conversations over the next 2 days will contribute to our understanding of technology, lifelong learning, and the future of work. And as I conclude, if I can extend my congratulations then to SMU on your 25th anniversary, and to both SMU and MIT Smart on your exciting research collaborations. I look forward to seeing how these emergent ideas shape our policy and our practice in the years ahead. Thank you very much.